And welcome to the channel, everybody. For now, still live in Washington. um, so, yeah, I did go live the other night and kind of give everybody a little bit of an update. By the way, welcome him, Vitalik. Currently, I am going to have to move by the middle of March. So I am currently working on trying to figure out how to cover the costs of that so that I can either end up back in Iowa where I have a place to stay at the moment, or find a way to stay in Washington, which is not looking very feasible. I do have about 2 weeks to come up with at minimum about $1,500. So if anybody wants to help over the next several streams, you know, you're always welcome to donate through the channel. That does take a while to get to me, which is why for the very first time ever, my Cash App is directly on screen, so that if anybody does want to help more immediately, I do want to shout out that I have had a couple people from the community already reach out and are doing what they can to help. Every little bit does help, so whatever can be done, I appreciate it, guys. But that being said I would do my best to make sure over the next couple weeks, while all of this is playing out, that I get as much time on here from the current location as possible. So I thought tonight we'd go ahead and I'd wrap up the rest of the Lunar New Year event and play a couple more rounds of poker and finish out getting my score up. So yeah, we're you know, if anybody wants to ask about anything, you're more than welcome to. Hey Master, nice to see you. Thank you for stopping in, and thank you for everything, my friend. I appreciate you. Like I said, you know, I'm leaving it out there because I do need whatever help I can. I do appreciate, like I said, overwhelmingly those who have already reached out and offered any help that they could. So I am making arrangements right now, and I do at minimum have a place to stay back in Iowa for a few months, so that I can get money put together. The long-term goal will be that I will be getting back to Washington in the coming future. Not only to your stream is quiet, my volume is barely I'm playing this mode as well. I'm about 345,000. Damn, man. Let me see. I'll turn up the mic a little bit, but it really shouldn't be that bad. Let's see if that's a little better. Yeah, hopefully that's a little better for you, A-Master. Let me know if it's still rather quiet or not. If anybody else is having that problem, let me know. But yeah, no, guys. So like I said, you know, I'm just gonna hang out as much as I can. Obviously I've got to be working on getting everything figured out over the next 2 weeks, because that's what I have right now. 2 weeks from today, I will be leaving this apartment at minimum, and most likely the state of Washington, for at least a few months. Like I said, I do have a buddy back in Iowa that has offered me a place to stay. And I have some work waiting for me there, so I can make some money and kind of recoup and get things back on track. But I have to get there to be able to make that happen. I've really, I've never, I've made it clear since I've gotten to Washington, I really did not have any intentions of going back to Iowa at any point. Really have no desire to be back there for the most part. There are a few things and a few people that I miss back there, but not like I'm much happier here in the long run of things. So yeah, my long term goal will be to get back to Washington as quickly as possible. Um, if so, but I do appreciate any help that anybody's able to give. Um, I will never be able to express how much it means. But Egg, how's it going? Nice to see you. I'm cooking war so bad. Nice. I've got my guys for off season. I've got them. We took off season off because I've got several things that I'm restructuring, and we were moving everybody onto a new planning site. So it was just easier to cause less confusion and give everybody kind of a moment while we got everything worked out. But we'll be doing our next leg of our push. That didn't go well. I love giving you help. I'm so glad that I can. Yeah, man, it's amazing. Thank you. I cannot express how much it means, man. So it is, it's definitely moving me closer to the number I need to reach to make this all happen. So every little bit from anyone who can, definitely, I appreciate it. Anyone who can't, I totally understand. I know not everybody is in a great position right now, so I do understand. I do appreciate all the support and everything, even, no matter what. One of the nice things about if I do, when I end up back in Iowa, the way it looks, I do, where I'm able to stay, I will be able to set up and be able to continue to live stream. So I can at least continue working on this and be able to work on the channel, which is part of the reason, or the channel and a couple other projects as well, which is part of the reason I'm even willing to make the step backwards to go to do this, is because it does give me the opportunity to continue to work. And this round did not go well. That's awesome. So, but yeah, like I said, guys, we're just gonna go with this. Now, on a side note, I do want to give a shout out to something that I saw today that I really actually absolutely thought was one of the coolest things, because it was amazing, because I obviously, I know not all of us, in spite of the fact that we should stay up to date on the current on the story in Marvel Contest of Champions. Shout out to Kabam Vincent, who puts in a lot of work on something that the majority of the community ignores altogether. But I was watching another content creator that I've really grown to like. He does comic book lore videos by the name of Sir Superhero. And by the way, Darth Nick, nice to see you. How's it going? And he just put out a video a couple days ago on the Infinity Stones, gemstones. They've been referred to a couple different ways. He'll explain that even more so in that video if you guys go watch it. But in that video, as I was getting through it, at one point, I got a call. What I missed, buddy? Not much, just me rambling about what was going on, and I started talking about I'm playing Shadow of War right now. Shadow of War is a great game. I like that game. But Sir Superhero's video on the Infinity Gems and Infinity Gauntlet and all of that, and the different iterations of it throughout comics and Marvel lore, it actually came up in the video the version of the Infinity Gauntlet that actually does exist within Marvel Contest of Champions. And he actually mentioned the fact that Marvel Contest of Champions is very unique in the fact that it is one of the few Marvel-based video games that its universe is canon within Marvel Comics, but it is separate of Marvel Comics. And we know this to be true by the fact that there's been champions that have been created in the MCOC, where they got created in our game and then ended up in the comics. So, like, bringing it up and bringing up the version of the Infinity Gauntlet that actually exists in our game, and how the Infinity Stones that exist in our game are actually created by Maestro. And it was just kind of really cool. So if you guys are ever looking to check out some comic book lore and actually have our game referenced in this lore, like, definitely go over and check out his video. Like I said, the guy's name is Sir_Superhero. I'm pretty sure he's from this area based off of the background that he uses and a few other things that he says in his videos. But definitely go over and give him a check out and stuff. Like, it's really cool. I might actually, like, reach out to him myself and see if I can't clip the part of the video that talks about MCOC at some point. Like I said, it was just one of those nice things when it's rare, because in spite the fact of the amount of Marvel fans that exist, especially nowadays, and the number of people that play this game, like, our game gets referenced it does not really get referenced mainstream nearly as much as a lot of others. As a matter of fact, I know often when I'm out and about talking to people, and I mention the fact that I do YouTube and things like that, I'll have somebody talking to me about, like, oh, okay, well, what game, what do you do on YouTube? And I tell them I play the game, and, they ask me what game, obviously, and I tell them Marvel Contest of Champions, and, I'll hear people tell me, oh, I've heard of Future Fight, or Strike Force, or, any of the other mobile MCOC games, or mobile Marvel games that are out there. But it's very rare anybody's ever heard of Marvel Contest of Champions, oddly enough. Even here in Seattle, being not too far from where the game studios are at. It kind of surprises me on that. But at the same time, so it's just, like I said, a really kind of cool nod out for our game to get mentioned in the same space through a different creator that's not necessarily tied directly to our community. So I like it. It makes me happy. So, like, if you guys want, like I said, go over, check him out. He does some really cool videos. He's done a couple really good lore videos on different Marvel things that I've really liked watching his breakdowns of them. So, like, definitely another awesome creator. So, the live stream yesterday, quite a bit of interesting information. Wolf, what's better, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or Star Wars Jedi Survivors? I don't know. I've never. I'm guessing those are games, but I've never played either one of them. So, I cannot answer that one for you. But like I said, yesterday's 2-hour plus live stream, which was something else, because, we don't get that from Kabam often, was full of information. One of the things that I think a lot of us definitely will overlook in it was the only thing that I really like was a little disappointed in the whole thing was back issues being removed from the game, which I do understand why they're being removed, and I do understand that yes, it will improve upon what Kabam can do for our game going forward, but it is also the last place that you can easily um, farm revives. So it's a little bittersweet on that one. But definitely, like, if you are looking to do any big content coming up anytime soon, I would take advantage of those of the next 40 days and farm up what revives you can. Um, and with 9.4 and some other things coming out soon, like you might consider using it while you got it. But outside of that, we got a lot of information on Ascensions, which I was on the 7-star Ascensions, which I'm really excited to hear about. Including the fact that any champion that's ascendable that you pull the first time before they're ascended will instantly become ascended. So like the first ascension you don't even have to make the choice on. After that you do have to build up some resources. So that one is not a forced ascension. Um, the fact that the super duper crystal ascension crystal, that pool will never be changing. Like, so you have no reason to hoard because you're not waiting for somebody else to possibly get added to it because you got what you got. I kind of like that. So there won't be people just kind of sit there waiting forever for. But that also means very much so too that like if you want to target any one of those 6 champions to be somebody that you like have resources built up for and are waiting for Ascensions 3 and 4 to come out or 5 and 6, like you can specifically make sure that you're not holding forever waiting for somebody better. You can spend the shards going after who's available right now that you want right now. So like there are definitely some champions in there like Corvus. I definitely would think could come back with some value now that he's ascendable. Spiral, definitely have wanting to have her for a while. Do not have her at the moment. Hit Monkey could definitely be valuable. So there's some potential there, especially with the fact that you can build up those champions like that. So I like that. The fact that we've got multiple ways to get ascensions, and they already showed that with the fact that there's going to be an easy. There's going to be an easy way to get Star-Lord ascended, and that's a different Stellar Star-Lord. And then also you'll be able to send Maestro through a different means. So they're already showing not only that they have plans to, okay, it's not just this or that, there will be multiple ways to do this and acquire it and stuff. I think it really does have some really good potential, in all honesty. Sorry guys, I just saw a message come through. Sorry, guys, I got a message from one of my Alliance members, and it was something I wanted to address right away when I saw what it was. So, but yeah, no. I think the information on Ascensions was really good. I am kind of excited about the fact that they let us know what the tags are for the next Coliseums, for the next Alliance Coliseums. We do not know who the champions are going to be. I would like to know them, because then the tags combined with the defenders would give you quite a bit of information to go off of. So that would be really awesome and really helpful. But the tags, I'm definitely finding really helpful already. I was able to do a couple things to make some recommendations to some Alliance members already, just based off of the tags. So that is going to, I do advise, if you haven't looked into those, to go check the live stream and at least catch that infographic, that slide, whatever, and know what those tags are going to be. Because it might make some decisions on some of your rank ups coming up. I was a little disappointed in the break in Solo Coliseum. I thought that was going to be back a little quicker than it looks like it's going to be. It's only about a month break. I'll be back, buddy. Been sick for 2 weeks already. Damn, man, that sucks. I hope you get better. I'm gonna go for the rocks. Hey, Bob, this is Calvin. Hey, Cal, how's it going, bud? How you doing? I see Dad showed you my videos. Thanks. I need to try to eat something. Yeah, man, definitely. Eat as much as you can. Get fluids. Got to get that strength up if you're going to get feeling better. Did you have a good time playing with Waylon? You know, when I talked to your dad earlier, awesome. I know when I talked to your dad earlier, you guys were just getting ready to head out to the store, so. So, yeah, we're playing the poker event in my game that I play here, bud. I'm sure your dad hasn't told you everything, but maybe Uncle Bob will have a chance to show you sometime soon a little bit of this game if you want. So. Five rocks, we'll take it. Not quite the definitely not the best payout, but it's definitely better than the worst one. So we'll take any points we can get, especially on a 5 of a kind. Well, that definitely helped push us up to the next one. One more milestone to go, and then we're just banking points at this point. Obviously, we are not sitting anywhere near where Kick Rocks is, but you know, hey, we still have a couple days. Maybe we could remotely decide to catch up if we're insane. But yeah, no, I've been pushing this one pretty decently. Like it's an interesting little side quest thing. Between this and the DDR thing, I definitely like this one a little better. It is a little grindier, and the rewards aren't tremendously great on it. I will say that. It would have been better if there would have been the greater gifting envelopes in here, for sure. Kind of disappointed that those went away, because those were always really good in the past. So I would have liked to have seen them. Really excited about some of the things coming over this next month, especially excited for Pixie. Madeline Pryor looks phenomenal. Not that Pixie's gonna be slack by any means. Definitely do not want to imply that right before I talk to a certain person who may or may not have created her. Um, but also on top of that, too, the magic rework. Though I know it's not quite what a lot of people would have wanted, I'm pretty sure from some of the things I've seen. I still think it also looks really good as well. I will be excited to be working towards her, though it is going to interfere with my Deathless chase for a minute. I am still going for getting all 5 Deathless champions this year. I would like to, before the end of the year, have all 5 Deathless and all 5 Stellar Forge. Personally, I think there might be a reason to have all 10 champions come towards the end of the year. And I think we kind of saw a little bit of an implication to that with what we're getting coming, because there is a good and evil event already that it has showed its head that we're going to have coming up, which is part of the way that you're going to get some of the ascensions and things like that. Anyways, so that's definitely going to is showing me that my thoughts on that are probably pretty accurate. Kabam is normally really good, and especially with Vincent being so implemental in like some of the storyline and stuff, about dropping little hints months ahead of time of what things are building towards. I mean, obviously, if you were in the live stream yesterday, there was somebody who had mentioned the idea of how, you know, the release of Pixie was lining up really well with where it looked like the magic rework was going to be, and that means that the best possible second champion that you could release with Pixie would also be Madeline Pryor, which, lo and behold, that's exactly what we ended up with. Again, Kabam is really good about tying their storylines together. Even if it does take a little while. I think Vincent could also, be Feige level as far as like long-term weaving things together, so that it may not look like it's there until you realize one day all of a sudden, like, oh, hey, that tied into that and that tied into that. So the fact that we're getting a good and evil event while we're as part of the chase towards the Stellar Forge champions, and the fact that the Stellar Forge champions came out after the Deathless champions, it kind of makes me feel like that we, at some point in the future, will definitely see a Stellar Forge versus Deathless type of event. We have seen similar types of things in the past. For those who were around when Civil War came out, of course, there was the Choose Your Side event for Captain America versus Iron Man. So there have been quite a few different examples of it throughout the history of this game, so I could very well see that being something that we're working towards. I know not all of the community is necessarily going to be thinking about it that way, but if we end up getting that, just remember, like I said it, I've called a few things over the last couple over the recent time period where I have proven to be fairly accurate. So I do think that like it is a potential, and I definitely do think that if you do not have the Deathless Champions, I would consider working towards them. And based off the fact that the Stellar Force champions so far have seemed to be, like, obviously Star-Lord went fairly well. And where we're looking at for the first blade piece does not look difficult at all. We'll see how that goes. But I do believe very much so that it is very well possible that, like, the Stellar Forge champions they'll stick to what they said at Summoners Fest, which is they will be a lot easier to chase than the Deathless champions were. And if that's true, you have every reason to try and make sure that you have both by the time that they decide to make them relevant to have both. So, definitely, like I said, I would keep that in mind, and I would definitely keep working towards that. Obviously, I do understand myself. I'm already taking it into consideration. I mentioned it just a few minutes ago. The idea that, chasing the Deathless Champions, one of the easiest ways to do that at this point is by doing it through Radiance. And we also know that Magic's coming out, and you are going to need to spend Radiance to get Magic. So that does mean that, you may get it put in a choice of where am I spending my Radiance, especially depending on how much Radiance you're getting on a regular basis. Like, if you're in a lower tier alliance where you're getting less than 20,000 Radiance a month, that does kind of make it a little difficult to kind of pick and choose where that Radiance is going. I know that's part of the reason that I am pushing my alliance right now into a whole nother tier of things, because I knew myself and the guys, like, we all definitely needed better rewards than what we were getting for where our accounts had progressed to. And a lot of that is tied around Radiance these days. So that meant that, unfortunately, like, either start playing a crap ton of Battlegrounds and somehow become one of the best players in the world, which I didn't see myself doing anytime this week. I figured, we could probably just, like, place better in War. So that's what we're working towards right now. And honestly, I think it went really well this last season. We got a couple kinks that we had to work out, but I think we're really good as far as things are going right now. So, hey Wolf, have I missed your thoughts on yesterday's Ascension announcement? I'm actually just talking through a lot of that different type of stuff, a lot of the yesterday stuff. I did mention quite a bit on the Ascension stuff already. I do think that there were definitely some wins there, in my opinion. Obviously, we knew the champions already, so that wasn't a problem. I'm really happy with that. I do like some of the logic on it. Burris Gaming, how's it going, Stephen Burris? I do like the idea that, first off, that first level of Ascension, if you get it out of any of the crystals, like, it will just auto do it for you, so you don't have to, like, put a lot of thought into it. But the second level where, like, the Ascension really starts to puts you in the realm of your of a rank 5 champion. Um, like you have a little bit more thought to put into that. But I will say, in my opinion, I think what I'm probably going to do is, and I know that there's going to be multiple different viewpoints on this in the community, but I think what I'm going to be looking at is any champion that I ascend will not be a rank 5, and any champion that I rank 5 will not be ascended, at least initially. I actually like the idea that the base pool isn't growing. I like the idea that there are going to be multiple different ways to get your ascendable champions, and that you don't need to worry about hoarding in hopes that like the next pool is going to be different and better. If you are always constantly acquiring a new way to get different ascendable champions, and that pool is staying the same, so you're not like, you can focus on that pool and this, or the super ascended crystal, or any of those. I can't wait till Red Skull is added. Yeah, but I don't know, and I like the fact I did mention earlier that I like the fact that they already gave us examples of ways that the ascensions will be different than they've ever been before. Like, it's not going to be just strictly one way to get the ascension. Like, not first off, you've got the super ascended crystals, then you've got the base pool ascended crystals, and then you've got the path to get ascended stellar forge Star Lord, and then you've got the path to get ascended Maestro. So like, they showed us already that there's going to be like so many different ways to like target who you want to ascend, that I think that really honestly gives us a lot. I take it the opposite. I'm hoarding everything. I'm sitting on close to 40 million Titans, 14 Nexuses, and 3 Colossal Titans. I'm not opening any of them. Yeah, I mean, like right now, obviously, like I'm sitting on Titans right now. Okay. And I think this is why I think, honestly, the approach that they took this time is actually the exact right way to do it. Because, like, right now, I have every person in the Titan pool. And I wasn't even one of those people that, like, got the initial bug where I was sitting on 30 to a couple hundred Titan crystals and opened them in those first couple hours and ended up with a bunch extras. I wasn't even that. I didn't even open any that day. I just have gotten enough Titans during this particular rotation that I got every champion in the Titan pool before the Titan pool switched. So I am hoarding right now. I have 6 total that I'm going to open day 1 to go after, including 1 Nexus. But the thing about it is if it wasn't resetting in 10 days, I would have opened them already. And if I knew that pool was always going to be the same, and then I could work on specific champions in that pool, then I would have no reason to hoard them. And I'm okay with that. I'm holding at least another 3 months. Okay. I think there's some really good champions in this next pool, though, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, most of the really good ones that are going into this pool will be in the next pool as well. So I can kind of understand that. But I don't know. Like, I kind of like the idea. I have basically 300 total 7-star crystals saved up. That's going to be really nice for you, Stephen Burris, because of how this all aligned for you. You could have never known when all this started that, like, there was going to be the ascensions and everything. But because there is ascensions, when you open all those crystals, you are going to get so much material. Because every one of the ones you dupe is going to instantly be shards towards that super fabulous crystal. Or super ascension, whatever it is. I keep forgetting exactly what they're calling it. But, so you're going to get a ton of shards for that, like, right off the bat. So you're, like, not only are you going to get a bunch of Titan shards out of it, but then you're going to get a bunch of those shards. So, you, like, that 300 crystals is going to turn into so many more crystals for you than it would have been for anybody else over the last year that you didn't open. So you, like, honestly were low-key a genius on choosing to save this time. Now, if they came out with 8 stars instead, you would have been, you would have just wasted a year. But it like somebody at Kabam was looking out for you, Steven. Like, you lucked out on this one because you will actually end up with the most like benefit out of probably anybody in the community outside the whales. Uh, the opening is probably going to be pushed back about a week because I might have to have a chance to go back to South Korea to visit my brother when he changes command. That's awesome. I hope you do. People call me mad, but and crazy, but no, man. It really, like I said, it worked out for you 100%. Dude, I hope it also works out that you can go over and see your brother. That would be a really cool trip to take. And I hope it works out for you, man. I was opening 7-star basics, not anymore. I'm also done with competitive play. Battlegrounds is finished. Once my account stops being competitive in war, I'll drop out and just do PvE. Okay. I mean, we all have our different ways of playing the game. And sometimes taking a step back and choosing a different way to do it. Like, I get it, man. Like, I've taken a couple breaks myself. Never because of the game, personally. Like, I understand that people do occasionally take breaks because of the game. But it's never been anything to do with the game that has caused me to stop the game. Both the times that I've stopped the game were because I was focusing on something major in my life. That I needed more focus than I could give if I was playing the game. So, but I don't know. I know a lot of people get harsh on this game at times and stuff, and I know everything isn't perfect. I know there's a lot of things that could be better. But my heart's in it and it's gonna be in it forever. Like, I will do anything I can do in the game as long as I can do it. And if I can't do it, then I'll eventually do it at a point when I can. Like, I mean, this game has brought me so many things in life, in all honesty, in a lot of ways. Not only, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, it does look like I said, guys, if one way or another, I'm going to have to raise the money to leave Washington for a little while. But I would have never been here, and I definitely would have never went to Canada if it hadn't been for this game. I would never have known that Washington is someplace I truly enjoy being, and that I'm happy being here, and that I would want to stay here long term if it was feasible. But it just gives me something more to work towards. So again, not to mention the amazing people and events that I have been able to participate in, people I've gotten a chance to know, people I have had exclusively in my life. The announcement, I've been playing since the beta, and hold on real quick, I missed Burris's. I think since last May I've opened maybe 10. Yeah, man. I played since the beta and have the veteran title. Never taken a break. I've stopped spending before when Zola stole money from me. Eventually, Kabam gave it back. Then the announcement felt like a punch in the stomach. What about it? Like feels so bad to you? Like, honestly, like I'm interested to hear, genuinely. Like, I may have my personal views on it, but my personal views are like, that's mine. I want to hear what you're thinking and why, like, you're unhappy about it. I'm not trying to change your mind or anything like that. The basic pool staying as it is. What? Okay, the basic pool staying as it is does not mean that there will never be any other champions that are ascendable. It just means that you will always be able to get another way to get ascendable champions, and that there will be other pools and other types of crystals that, and every champion will become ascendable eventually. Like, they're not saying, hey, these are the only 30 champions that, or 36, 40, whatever exactly it is, by the time you add everything that's in there, that will ever be ascendable. These are just what's the starting ascendables. Like, so unless, like, you're only upset because you can't save up until the perfect champion's in there that you're probably not even going to pull because it's still RNG. But this way, it means that you can wait until, like, when the champion that you do want to ascend comes around, like, you can go directly for them without the extra 30, 50, 200 champions in the way. So I don't know, like, personally I thought that was a better thing, but, like, I don't, I mean, and especially with the fact that you're talking about the fact that um there's 11 levels of ascension. So if that base pool is always the same, you're always building for those champions in that pool, and you can build for the other champions in other ways, especially when you're like 11 levels of ascension is going to take a lot of materials over time. I mean, even if you just look at the graphics of what, like, from level 1 to level 2 was 20 tokens. So you're talking, like, by the time you get to level 11, you're talking hundreds of tokens that you're going to need per champion to get them there. So having a very small pool to always be able to draw those off of, so that you, like, I can target these champions here, and I can target these ones here. And kind of like the incursion crystals are, where, like, I want one of these 8 champions, but I don't want all of these ones, so I can just go for this crystal that only has these ones, so I have a 1 in 8 chance, as opposed to having to go over here where I have a 1 in 200 chance. They're cutting off the growth of 90% of the champions for the foreseeable future. To ascend to others, you'll need random item X. That means I save everything. I don't think it's going to go quite that way. I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I've gone months without opening things before. I can do it again. No, and I get it. Like, I there's plenty. I mean, Steven Burris hasn't opened his 7-star. He's opened 10 7-star crystals in the last 11 months. He's been waiting a year to open over the majority of his crystals. So I get it. Like, I know plenty of people. Like, I you know, back when I used to do crystal opening videos, like, we would save up for weeks at a time. Like, I get that. I just, like, I think I personally, like, and again, this is my viewpoint compared to yours, and in my view of how I'm seeing it, I see it more as I can more easily make sure that I get the materials if there's a smaller pool to pull those materials from. Like, if there's a large pool, but I'm trying to target, you know, like, if I need 100 of if I need 100 Squirrel Girl checkdowns, just because she's the one on the screen. So let's say I want to ascend Squirrel Girl to Ascension 5, and I need 100 of her, 100 tokens for her to ascend there. Like, if I gotta pull her out of a pool of 200 champions, and I need to do that 10 or 15 times to get all the tokens I need, like, how long is it going to take me to ever get there? Now, on the other hand, if she's exclusively in a crystal that's only got 15 or 20 champions in it, I got more of a likelihood every time of opening a crystal that I actually get her. So I think I can more easily target the ones I want for the larger ascension levels in the long run. But again, that's how I'm looking at it. That's my thoughts on it. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, one of the things that I'm excited about is knowing that I can, like, that super ascended crystal. Like, I know right off the bat that I'm going to be able to open 2 of those, and those are instant ascensions. So, like, right off the bat, that's 2 level 1 ascensions that I'll have pretty much the day everything goes live. And then I know right off the bat that I can start working towards getting those ones to level 2, because it'll be easier to pull them again. Because there's only 6 of them in that box total. But they can have drop the Squirrel Girl items for a mystery item. If you spend that item before it's announced, you're screwed. No, because they also have the crystals that have the materials in them as well, that just have the materials in them. So, like, there's multiple sources to get those materials from. I've got all 6 of the super duper champions. Most couldn't care less. Like I said, I have Corvus. I have Hitmonkey. I have Immortal Abomination. I don't have Spiral. God, I can't believe I'm blanking the other 2. I don't know. We'll see. I think this is a very much so time will tell type thing. Which is often how it goes with this game. I mean, I'll get all 6 ascending. 3 out of the 6 are staying at rank 1. I mean, yeah, that may change over time too. I mean, that's another one of those things that this game is great at. Like, there have been plenty of times in the history of this game that, like, somebody would have told you, like, there was a point in time nobody would have ranked up a superior Iron Man. And then there was a point where everybody was ranking up superior Iron Man. So, like, who you won't take up today doesn't mean they won't be valuable a year from now. And I guess that comes with the fact that, like, that is one of the things about my life, is I've been down a lot. I've been down a lot of times, and there's been a lot of times that, like, I thought things weren't going to ever come back. And then there's been a lot of times where things were really good, and I really hoped that they would stay that way for a long time, and they didn't. But that's where, like, life has taught me the same thing that this game has taught me, which is occasionally it's going to be some ebbs and flows. In one moment you may be frustrated and unhappy, and the next moment you may be maybe all about it and excited, and everything in the game is perfectly exactly how you want it. And it'll change over time. It always does. That's why I can say right now, in spite of the fact that I'm in a bad spot and having to beg and borrow every dime I can just to go back someplace where I don't really want to go, that I know damn good and well that I will make the best of it, and I will find a way to not only get back to Iowa and deal with what I got to deal with, but I will find my way back to Washington and be where I want to be long term. Time will tell for sure if I stay frustrated as I am now, and then I'll go back to my alternate ID. Whale no more. No problem, brother. Gotta run mama streaming. She can't stream without her boy. No problem, Stephen Burris. I appreciate you stopping by, bud. Tell Mama Bear hi for me. But otherwise, you know, like the Ascensions, like that's one thing. Like I said, there was definitely a big portion of the live stream that I will say was focused on Ascensions, because there was a lot of information that had to get out there. But there was a lot of other stuff that was talked about during the live stream as well. One of the things that I'm not sure everybody's really looking to at the advantage that was given, but you know, with the next Alliance Coliseums, the tags being already announced, like that does give you an opportunity if you want to rank up a champion specifically for Coliseums, that you'll be able to do that easily, or at least more so easily. Maybe it's only me that's gutted by the announcement. It just feels horrible. I'm not even bothered by the fact that you can't ascend Titan champions for a year. Why can't you ascend Titan champions for a year? Like, they never said that. They said all new champions coming out that will all be ascendable. As a matter of fact, like, all the current ones that have come out from November till now are all ascendable. As a matter of fact, Lizard's getting instantly ascended for everybody. The only ones that like won't necessarily be ascended on their release is like track champions and stuff that are normally like reworks and stuff. They said like Magic isn't going to be ascendable right away, but like Blue Marvel, Pixie, Madeline Pryor, all of them will be ascended upon their release. Ascendable upon their release. they did say that new champions can only be ascended if you get them from Valiants. If you get them from Titans, you can't ascend them from for a year. The only exception is Favitra, and that's not. No, man, you got to relook at that, because they said Blue Marvel is ascendable already. They said that M'Baku is ascendable already. As a matter of fact, they used him as an example of one of the ones, like, he's on the list of ascendable champions. Like, Pixie is going to be ascendable. Like, yeah, you can get their materials from Valiant Crystals, but there's going to be other ways. They said that as well. There will be more things coming. The base pool is not going to be the only way to ascend champions. It is not going to be the only ascendable champions. We will be having more ascendable champions every month. Confirmed by DLL. Okay, I mean, like, I'll rewatch the live stream, and I'll even reach out to a couple of the Kabam employees that I know personally, but that was not the interpretation that was not the interpretation I got from it. Like, as a matter of fact, that's not what they said at Summoners Fest, and like I said, that's not the way it was said on the live stream yesterday to anything I saw. As a matter of fact, Titan Crystals are even giving more shards towards the Ascension Crystals. I think you'll be pretty surprised. Not only for Lizard. Lizard is an exception because they're doing something special with him, but not only for him. I mean, like I said, the perfect example is M'Baku. They even showed what his stats will be when he's ascended, because he is ascendable. He is ascendable, but only from Valiant. Okay, man. I'm not, like I said, I could be wrong. We'll see how it all plays out. We'll know here in 6 days? I ain't got any money to bet right now, man. So even if I was to the point where I would, like, right now, every dime I got's gotta get me back to Iowa at the moment. So, and even that I'm short on. So, but I will say this much: if I'm wrong, I will put out a video after everything's out saying I was wrong, you were right. I'll make that deal with you. They did also say that grace crystals as well would have that ability as well. So I mean that's another way. And the grace crystals are always something that I know, like at least those who want to go that direction work towards. Matter of fact, I know a person in my alliance who already has enough grace crystals saved up for Pixie's release. I don't need the video. I know that's correct. It's been the conversation all day in DLL's members chat. You do realize that DLL is first off like a Kabam employee and is contractually obliged not to say certain things, and that he has been on more than one occasion has said certain things just to rile up the community. I love the man to death, but he has done it before. Grace crystals are valiant. I got Blue Marvel from a pity. He will be ascendable. If I want from the Titan, he would not be. I mean, I will say the what Mike showed made it definitely look like it didn't matter where you got the champion from. If they were ascendable, you would get the materials. There was not the committee. This was a private chat of 10 to 15 people. And as we can see, private chats stay private all the time. Trust me, I watched no point in arguing. You'll find out soon. No, and like I said, man, like again, I have admitted repeatedly, I could be wrong, but based off of how I was seeing it, my interpretation, this is what my interpretation is. And I promise you, no matter what, even if it is one of those things where, like, yeah, it won't be locked for a year. There will not be a year before there's any other champions that are ascended. There will always be more ways to get other ascendable champions. They have already started showing us that. I promise you by December we will have at least 80 champions, if not more, that are ascendable. And that there are ways to get their ascendable material. I trade 2 rocks for 2 rocks. That's awesome. If you have time tomorrow, I'll skim Vega's watch party stream and find the slides for you. Yeah, sure, man. Sorry, I got an alliance, but we're going through some personal family stuff. I want to make sure they're all right. So, I'll be stuck at home most of the day. There's a half marathon closing the road, so I can't get out of the court. That sucks. I've been there, man. I used to run a cemetery, and I lived right in front of the cemetery. And like on funeral days, like you had to plan when you could come and go. Like, you picked the wrong funeral, you weren't leaving for hours. Luckily enough, working at the cemetery, I always knew when all the funerals were, so I could plan everything around it. And half the time when the funeral was going on, I had to be there anyways. But wasn't great for the neighbors. There we go. We got the last milestone out of the way. How many tokens we got left? 5. Cool. Few more points. Few more points. We can always throw up a few more points. I never stop at the top milestone on this event anyways. I want to go ahead and make, because you stop at the top milestone and definitely not going to get above the top 50%. So, I have been lucky enough. I got top 2 once, and I think I got top 5 the next time. So, we'll see where we finish on this. I mean, Heimdall would be great, but he will be in the Titan pool, and I will be getting him from there one way or another. Because I definitely want that. Thank you, bud. You going to bed soon? I'm sure Dad's probably already starting to get brother and sister down. No. Does Dad know that you're not they're down? Okay. Kind of figured as much so. Come on, fire. That is rock. I needed fire. Could you imagine if you could get the untouchable buff in actual content? Oh, the nasty things I could do. I think we'll do a couple more and then we'll probably call it for the evening. I am planning on being live tomorrow evening, and then, like I said, I don't know how much this next 2 weeks while I'm trying to get everything tied up, but I will be live as often as I can be over the next 2 weeks, and then obviously after that it's gonna depend on if something comes through last minute that allows me to stay here in Washington, then obviously we probably won't have too much of an interruption. But as it's standing right now, it's very much so looking like the plans are to head to Iowa. So that will be a couple days of me being down for sure because of travel time. But we will, like I said, I will get as much time in over the next few days as I can. Any help or support is overwhelmingly appreciated. Come on, give me steel. None of those are steel. I needed steel. Metal, steel. Don't care how you want to put it. Didn't need rock. The untouchable buff is just ridiculous. Like, I have to try to stand in the corner and beat on them until they fall down eventually. Well, at least we got 3. I'll take a 3 of a kind. It's better than just the wild card. there a reason I can't parry you? It's really starting to piss me off. That's better. And that should be it. There we go. The lack of a parry there for some reason was definitely annoying. So. Well, yeah, that is not where we're going to finish, but that is where we're going to finish the stream, because I'll put up a few more points personally. But let's go ahead and go over and open the final envelopes after I do a little bit of help of the Alliance. And then I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up so that I can go ahead and work on a couple things that I need to personally. I've been trying to find out, no luck yet. No problem, man. Well, there's another 2 tokens that we'll put into that final score before the end, especially since this is the last round. I did just open a couple 7 stars yesterday. We are probably going to open one more tonight, even though I'm technically nowhere near on shards, but we have ways. So like I said, I do have some Titan shards saved up. I should have at least 6 full Titans for the Titan reset, if not more. I will be able to open those just in time before I end up having to vacate the premises here, no matter if that is to someplace else in Washington or most likely to Iowa. Like I said, guys, if anybody wants to help out with any of that, yes, I am in use office Discord. I'm also in the MCOC Discord. I'm in my Discord. I'm in my Alliance's Discord. I'm in quite a few Discords, actually. But yeah, no, go ahead and hit me up. You should have me on Discord anyways. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right. But yeah, guys, for now, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and stop on tomorrow night for a while. No problem. Appreciate it, man. We'll be on for a while tomorrow. I don't know exactly what we're going to work on yet. Kind of play it by ear. Kind of depends on what I get done tonight. But we are, it's going to be a long couple weeks while I'm getting everything sorted out. I appreciate everybody's patience and support while we're getting through things. Once we get on the other side, we'll just kind of keep going, keep picking things up, and keep fighting forward. Because as much as I don't always want to, that's about the only choice we get. So, again, guys, I appreciate everybody for stopping in. I appreciate everybody for all the support. Thank you, everybody who has already reached out to me for moral support, for financial support, whatever it is that you could do. I overwhelmingly appreciate it. I know we're all going through rough times right now, but I appreciate those that are able to help. And nothing but the best of thoughts for those who aren't able to. So I thank everybody, and I hope everybody has a great day and a great night, and pulls a God to your champion soon. But until then, I will see you guys back in the next one, and I love you guys all. Peace out. Have a great night. See you guys soon. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna stop that. I was about to do that. We don't do that there. We don't do that here. Hold on. We got one more thing we gotta do. One more thing. Before we go, I gotta see who's live. Oh, Anian's live. That makes the choice real easy. Let's go over and raid Anian. I didn't realize he was still live. But anybody who wants to run over with me, let's run over with a hashtag Wolfpack Raid and go support Anian. I know he's pretty close to his 100 subscribers. and going to be working on that 500 mark very soon. So if you guys want to go over and help a long-term supporter of the channel with me, I'd appreciate that. But again, I'll see you guys back tomorrow night. Have a great one. Love you guys. Bye.